Several people live to be 100 years old and they have great lives. But somewhere in their life, they had a decision to make. They can go left or right on this path. Left was the easy route. Right was the hard route. A lot of people take the easy route, but the better life was going to the right side.
Because many of us are cuffed to convenience. Comfort and convenience is killing your calling. Your plan will not be convenient.
If you want to be ordinary, you ain't even got to listen to me. If you think ordinary's cool, just go on about your business. But if you are sitting in this room and you have extraordinary aspirations, then you're going to have to do extra. You put extra on top of ordinary and you come up with extraordinary. It's no other way. All of you have extraordinary capabilities, all of you. You have to decide if you are willing to do the things to put you in that category.
You have to struggle. The bigger the struggle, the bigger the peace. The bigger the suffering, the more peace.
If dreams were easy, everybody would make them happen. The problem is that most people, they can't get up in the morning. They ain't got no energy. Most people that I'm with, they don't got the energy to keep up with me. I'm like, boo, ain't nothing wrong with you. You just ain't got the stamina. You just ain't got the energy. You can't smart everything. You can't outthink everything. Some stuff is just, you gotta be powerful. You just too slow. It just take you too long. You wake up, take you 3 weeks to do what it can take 24 hours to do. It don't make you a bad person, but you're gonna forever be average because to be great, you got to keep up. I'm shocked more people are on beast mode. There are people who living from check to check and they comfortable. It's the weirdest thing to me. I'm like, boo, you broke. Some of you broke and you still entertained. You ain't got no money and you sitting here complaining about, but then you watching all the TV programs. You need to look at yourself in the mirror and say, why are you only giving 50%? What's wrong with you? You need to put yourself on punishment. You need to tell you no more TV, no more snacks, no more desserts. No, we working out now. I want you to ask yourself, why aren't you putting more effort forward? Why aren't you getting A's in math? You can. Why aren't you getting A's in English? You can.
You got to look at that man or that woman in the mirror and say, hey, get serious. You've been seriously not serious. You've been wasting valuable time. Get serious. Take control of yourself. You don't have the luxury of being reckless or procrastinating or putting things off. Come on, you got work to do.
Unless you number one in your industry, you shouldn't be chilling. And if you number one in your industry, you got enough common sense to know you better not be chilling. So I need that dog. Every time something good happens to me, I don't get satisfied. I get hungry. When I put forth 120% effort, can't nobody stop me. I didn't get here off being smart. I didn't get here being talented. I got here off that dog. I got that dog. I got that grind. And whatever I put my mind to, I can do.
Expand yourself. Take yourself out your comfort zone. You will fail in your comfort zone. Success is not a comfortable procedure. It is a very uncomfortable thing to attempt. So you got to get comfortable being uncomfortable if you ever want to be successful. Start putting some pressure on. Put some pressure on yourself.
Most people want it easy. Easy come, easy go. See, but when you handle those hard things close at hand, making those hard decisions right now that you don't want to make, learning those things that you don't like to do. You do what it is you're supposed to. You're supposed to build something. You're supposed to create something. I don't know how to do it. Learn. Do whatever is required.
You're gonna have to suffer, man. To grow, you must suffer. I'm gonna fail, I'm gonna fail, I'm gonna fail, I'm gonna fail, and I will succeed.
If you stay in bed, if you stay on the couch, if you stay in your comfort zone, if you only do what is easy, your life will be hard. But if you do what is hard, if you get up, if you grind, if you are relentless, if you work as hard as possible, when other people are slacking off, your life will be easy.
If you're willing to take the harder way, the one with more failures at first than successes, the one that has ultimately proven to have more meaning, more victory, more glory, then you will not regret it.
Everybody's living off the hope factor. They hope the water was never cold. They hope the weather was good. I don't live off that hope. I wish the water was cold. I wish it rained.
Whenever anything is challenging, whenever anything sucks, good. I like it. It's gonna give me a good story to tell, it's gonna toughen my mind, and it's gonna make us stronger.
It's your trial, it's your tribulation that's gonna get you out your comfort zone. It's your trial, it's your tribulation that's gonna take you to the next level. When the end is unknown and the distance is unknown, that's when you know who you are.
When you're working out and you wanna die, feel the pain happening in your legs as you rep out one more squat, because it'll be all the more pleasurable when you reach the other end where you're relaxing. Boy, I really went hard on that set. I really went hard in school. I really went hard in my career. I really went hard in life.
I turn around in exhaustion, salute my former self that was right there. Proud, yeah, I'm tired. I gave it his all to ensure that right now I got the most out of it.
I realized I was on the right path because it stopped being easy. I'm exhausted. I'm tired, but I'm not going to complain because I asked for this. So I'm going to smile with tired eyes and realize that everything I'm doing on a daily basis is for a reason.
So what do? You can't always control who or what you're up against, but you can always control your effort. You must outwork every single one of those people you're competing with. When you find yourself up against other people and see yourself falling behind, are you the person who gives up and gives in? Are you the person who starts making excuses for why you're not doing as much as you could? Are you the person who finds it a reason to start doing things you're not supposed to, taking breaks, slacking off, sleeping in, eating like crap? Or are you the one who sees opportunity? The opportunity to get ahead of everyone else. The opportunity to work harder and perform better when it's game time. The opportunity to improve yourself and hold yourself accountable to what you know you can achieve if you really tried your hardest. In the shadows and darkness, when most people are still in bed or have gone home already, where you fight to become the best version of yourself every damn day.
It's that process of pushing yourself to perform better. That's what stretches you to reach higher and higher levels. You don't become number one by taking it easy. You become number one by pushing yourself to the outer limits of your capabilities.
It's these quiet, unseen moments that legends are made. You're not there to participate, you're there to fucking dominate.
You gotta refuse to accept that you are what you are, and that what your life is like now is what you're doomed to be forever. No, you fight. You scratch and claw every day to improve, just a little bit. Weeding out all those weaknesses you have sneaking around in your brain. You weed those out with discipline, forcing yourself to execute on your mission for the day.
Doing those hard things you have resistance from doing. And as you shut down those weaknesses, as you continue to prune out all the fickle feelings of laziness, you are literally building mental strength. You become tougher through completion. When you get hard stuff done, it builds your belief in your vision. It builds belief in your company. It builds belief in your ideas. It builds belief in yourself.
So while most people are sitting around waiting for change, making all these amazing plans for how to revolutionize their lives and become better, you get your up and get to work. Plans don't change people. Action changes people. So make movement. Move forward every day of your life.
If they make 10 sales, you make 20. If they work 8 hours, you work 10. Whatever they do, I need you to do just a little more, because when you add up all those extra bits of effort, day after day after day, that's going to make the difference between winning and losing.
When others start slacking off, making excuses, you see a golden opportunity. It's your chance to double down, to push harder when everyone else is easing up. Every setback, every obstacle is a chance to show what you're made of. It's a chance to toughen up, to hone your skills, to rise above the bullshit.
You might not control the raw talent, but you sure as hell control the effort. It's about grinding harder, pushing further, sweating more. It's about turning every damn ounce of your being into a relentless pursuit of excellence. You become the nightmare of everyone in your field, because while they're resting on their laurels, you're out there, grinding, improving, outworking every single one of them.
You don't just aim to keep up. You aim to leave them all in dust.
I'm dominate. When I die, you ain't gonna forget my name. I dominate this doggone thing. I dominate. Where I go, stuff happens. I dominate. If you gonna win, you just can't play this game because there are other teams that want to do exactly what you gotta do. So what you gotta do in practice is dominate in practice. Some of y'all, that's your problem. You think that you can dominate when the lights come on. If you can't dominate in practice, you can't dominate when the lights come on. I get up every morning at 3 o'clock. I dominate at 3 o'clock in the morning. I dominate when everybody's asleep. I dominate at 4 in the morning, 6 in the morning. Why? Because y'all just getting up. I dominate in the dark. I dominate when nobody sees me. Because you just got to get there before the genius get there. They ain't waking up to 8. So if you get up at 3, you ain't got to be smarter than them. You just got to be quicker than them. You just got to be faster than them. You just got to get to the spot before they get to the spots. You ain't got to be them. You ain't got to be on their level. You don't have to be as smart. You don't have to become them. You can stay you, but you got to get there before they get there if you going to stay you.
Are we the underdogs? Good! That's where legends rise. They overlook us, we overperform. They doubt us, we outdo. We keep moving, we keep pushing, unstoppable. Let's carve our names right here and right now.
I guarantee you, when I line up and they line up, I want what all other men want. But when the challenge hits, when the opposition hits, when the pain creeps in, when the uncertainty creeps in, when the cuts, when the scars, when the bruises come, I just wanted a little bit more than they wanted. And if you ain't got more heart than me, if you ain't been working harder than me, if you ain't sacrificed more than me, I'm gonna destroy you. And so that's how I conquer, and that's how nobody has ever beaten me yet. Like when you work for something, it gives you a different type of attachment to it.
I need you to eat, sleep, breathe, dominate. We're not playing to the level of our competition no more. You're gonna look at film in the way they don't look at film. You're gonna practice in the way they don't practice. Listening to coach, paying attention, being locked in and focused. Everything you do is gonna be in a way that nobody else does. You can't win it if you can't see it. You gotta see each one. You gotta see yourself winning in practice. You gotta see yourself winning the game, the championship. You gotta see yourself. Wake up every single day. I was here before I was here. I was in this spot right here. I was talking from right here. I envisioned it. I saw it already. But I'll see it before it happens. Discipline means that you dominate when you feel like it and you dominate when you don't feel like it.
What do you do when somebody's not there watching you? What do you do when you have to either do what it is you know you're supposed to do without somebody there to supervise you, or you get to take the play off because no one's going to know the difference? Those are the things that make up success, and that's discipline. You have to do the things that you don't feel like doing because you know it needs to be done.
Train hard, push limits, learn every single day. That's our backbone. That's our hustle. This is our turn, our unwavering will. Every tackle, every move is for something bigger.
Discipline is you do it so long and so hard and you're so passionate about it that even when you don't feel like it, you still operate at the highest level.
Embrace the process, trust the process, but most importantly, you gotta respect the process. Talent would never supersede it. If we respect it the way we say we respect it, if we love it the way we say we love it, if we cherish it the way we say we cherish it, every single day should be nothing less than excellence. You might not always be your best, but you can always bring me your best.
It's about outworking, outlasting, and outperforming not just others, but your past self. It's about the relentless pursuit of excellence, the unyielding discipline, and the unstoppable force of taking action every single day.
I will not be outworked, period. Where I excel is ridiculous, sickening work ethic. While the other guy's sleeping, I'm working. While the other guy's eating, I'm working. Talent you have naturally. Skill is only developed by hours and hours and hours of beating on your craft. The commodity, the majority of people who aren't achieving the things that they want is strictly based on hustle. It's strictly based on being outworked. It's strictly based on missing crucial opportunities.
You might outwork me for 30 days or 60 days or 90 days, but you ain't gonna beat me over a year. You can't outwork me over 2 years. I'm gonna get you eventually. I'm a dripping damn faucet. I just keep coming at you. I'm too damn tough to give up. Most people half-ass their life all the time. I knew they were gonna get tired. They were gonna get down. They quit improving themselves. They start sleeping in. I'm not gonna do that stuff. I'm gonna get up early. I'm gonna keep getting wide. I'm gonna stay relentless.
I might not be the fastest, the strongest, the smartest, none of that crap, but I will outwork you, and I flat out want it more than you. It's relentlessness, man. It's pushing past barriers. It's every time you get somewhere, it's wanting to go to the next level.
You guys are entitled to what you're entitled to is an opportunity to show up and be your best. Everyone's like, oh, Craig, you're lucky. You got this, Craig, you're lucky. Everything you do is luck. Bullshit. Because before it was luck, it was a belief. And every day with no one watching at 5 in the morning by myself, I trained it because I believed in it. In hopes that one day my trained ability collided with an opportunity to show it off. That's what luck is. That's what success is. Nothing subjective in there. It's all you.
You gotta look at how much you're working. You gotta look at how much effort you're making, the intention you're putting out there.
You gotta cross the line in life. You gotta go where nobody else wants to go. You gotta work the hours nobody else wants the hours.
You have to resolve yourself today that you're going to dominate, that you're not average and ordinary. There has to become a point where you make a decision. We're gonna dominate. We're here to win. We are not here to play. And that takes some intestinal fortitude. I'm where I'm at because I just flat decided I'm going to be a player. I decided at some point I get to choose who I am. The world doesn't tell me who I am. I write these chapters.
You don't need the world's permission. You don't need anyone's permission to be great. Only permission you need is from who stares at you back in the mirror every day and a willingness to do the hard work longer, harder, and better than anyone. So what are you gonna do? Are you gonna buy another success program looking for the secret recipe that doesn't exist? Or are you gonna go do something right now and do something that brings you closer to greatness? That's your choice.
You're gonna have more days you don't want to do something than you are gonna want to.
Most days, you're not gonna be pumped up. Most days, you're gonna feel weak. Most days, you're gonna want to stay in bed. Most days, you're gonna feel like most people do. But if you do what most people do, which is give yourself reasons to not get the tasks done, not get to work, not get out of bed, you're gonna end up like most people, barely getting by, being unhappy with their lives. You gotta make a different decision. You gotta decide enough is enough. You've had enough of being average and ordinary. You're tired of being mediocre. You're now gonna push yourself.
It's gonna feel better when it's over. You know that when you get done doing the hard thing, it's gonna feel better. Waking up, working out, taking care of some tedious task. You know you will feel better when it is done. You also know that if you don't do the hard thing, the thing that you don't want to do, that you don't feel like doing, you know if you don't do it, you're going to feel inferior. You know you're gonna feel weak. And that feeling, that horrible feeling, you know that feeling too. You know it. You know it's true. Those are the two outcomes. One will cause you some short-term gratification. You'll get to sleep a little bit more. You won't have to put out during a workout. You don't have to do this tedious task. You'll get some short-term gratification, but the long-term regret will be strong, and it will inflict pain on you.
Successful people do one thing more than others. Make movement. They get it done.
While most people are slacking off, relaxing, wasting their time, the winners in the world are putting in work, studying their craft, practicing, running drills on how to perform better, putting in all those extra hours when everyone's already gone home.
And of course, you'll get tired. You'll get worn out. You'll feel exhausted and lazy and not want to work. And you'll have some really, really rough days. But when that happens, you gotta tell yourself, I will not stop. I don't care what I have to go through. I'm gonna get this done, no matter what.
You do what you know you need to do to move forward. And when you do that thing, you know you're gonna feel strong, and you're gonna feel gratified, and you're gonna feel worthy of this life. That's how you're gonna feel when you do what you're supposed to do. Remember that. Remember that the pain right now will absolutely pay off in the future. And the capitulation and the conceding defeat to weakness, that will absolutely result in the pain of regret and remorse later. You know this to be true, so don't allow it. Remember the feeling of victory that comes from doing the right thing, the hard thing. Remember that feeling, and then go get it done.
The work comes before the belief. You're gonna have to do some work, and you're gonna have to keep doing it consistently, even when you're not seeing the results, even when you feel like giving up. And eventually, results will begin to sprout as you do this. And when that happens, you're gonna build faith. Build belief in what it is you're doing. You start to realize, hey, I can really do this. This is actually working. And as you work more success sprouts.
You're going to start to create something. You have no motivation, you have no drive, you have no ambition, but you're going to force it to happen anyway because that's what bad do, and that's what you are. You're going to go through day by day by day doing the work regardless of how you feel like it. And then what's going to happen is you're going to see a little bit of a result. And when you see that little bit of result, you're going to get happy. And what's going to happen in your brain is it's going to open up the possibilities for you of what you can actually achieve, because now you can clearly see that if I do the work, this result will happen. And when this result starts to happen, you get excited. And guess what comes with the excitement? The motivation.
The inches we need to become dominant in any field of life are all around us. It's in every task, every project, every mission, every day, every second. When you do the small things, how do you do them? Because if you're putting in 120% in those small tasks, I know for sure you're doing it in everything else.
It's the people who are willing to do twice as much as anyone else. Those are the people who end up winning. You go the extra mile, you push through the extra round, you do those extra reps. That's what defines if you become first or forgotten.
Champions are focused on the goal. They don't have time to be doing stuff that's not going to help them toward the goal. And so what you're focusing on throughout the course of the day, it has to change. What you're looking at, what you're reading, what you're watching, the conversations you have.
You gotta be focused entirely on your dreams, entirely on your goals. When you're great, you don't just focus on a week, you don't just focus on a month, you don't just focus on a year. You concentrate on the 24 hours that's in front of you and work as hard as possible to nail it.
You dominate in the dark. When nobody sees you, when no one knows what you're doing, those late hours and early mornings where you're working your ass off. Nothing feels better than giving everything you have to the grind.
And a lot of people are confused as to how high drive, high success people can wake up every day and go at it. It's because they know that even if they feel bad, even if they don't feel like doing it, if they push through just a little bit, just a few more days, they're gonna see something that is gonna start to make them feel good. It's gonna give them belief, it's gonna get them motivation, and it's gonna make them feel like doing this is absolutely worth it, and not only worth it, but exciting. So if you're in this phase where it doesn't feel like it's worth it, where it doesn't feel like it's very fun, just remember, if you keep going and you do not let your feelings dictate what your actions will be, the results will always be there.
When you get to sit back and unwind after working yourself to the bone for those goals and dreams, you'll feel a sense of pride you might have never felt before. But you only ever get to that point if you get up and get to work.
The time of year, we try to make our dreams come true. But the reality of all that is sacrifice. And those dreams quickly become nightmares. But in those nightmares are where our demons lie. That's the domain in which they know we don't want to go into all those early mornings. It wakes up all these things that we failed at. Those demons are in those nightmares. That's what keeps us from accomplishing our dreams. So this year, their back is turned to the doorway. Because they know you ain't going into nightmare land, but you're going in there. And when the backs are turned, you're gonna rear naked choke them out. Every one of them. That's the mentality you must have and always have. People want to find peace immediately. You're going to find peace from going to war with yourself.
Make a declaration to yourself. Declare all out war that you're going to get out of this rut.
We are in control of our mind. We believe it's the other way around. No, we put in our minds what we should do. We have to reprogram it and tell us, no, we're good. This sucks, but it's okay.
If you don't program yourself, life will program you. In order to begin to reinvent your life, you've got to make a conscious, deliberate, determined effort. You really have got to put all of yourself into it. It's very challenging to act, to do those things. There are times when you're looking at it and you say, I know I need to do this, but I don't feel like it.
What most of us are looking for is a special feeling of, oh, I feel great this morning. I'm gonna get out of bed and get a quick 5 miles in or go to the gym. You're looking for that feeling. Let me tell you one thing, it ain't gonna come. You have to learn to do when you don't want to do. Learn to bring that savage mentality out of yourself. The animalistic one. You think a savage gets up about how he feels or how she feels? They just do it.
Learn to be your best self when you're least motivated. Stop looking for a feeling to control what goes on in your life.
You should quit quitting. Any path you take to get where you want to be, if that place is worthwhile to go, it's going to be hard. So quit judging your quitting based upon how hard something is, because every single path that you could possibly take to get somewhere where you want to be is going to be hard. Struggle, pain, misery, frustration, those are signs that you are on the right path and making progress. Nobody that is where you want to be has gotten there without these struggles, without the bleeding, without the pain, without the depression, without the misery. Nobody. And if you want to be something great, you are going to have to learn to accept the struggle as part of the recipe. Every single day you need to look yourself in the mirror and ask yourself, what am I willing to do to get what I want? And if the answer is whatever the I have to, you'll get there in time.
You're setting the example every single day of your life. You have to constantly, that machine, the machine is your mind. You gotta keep challenging it every day.
The price of regret is much heavier than the price of discipline. You never want to wake up one day, 1 week, 1 month, 1 year down the road and go, man, I wish I would have listened to my gut. I wish I would have done this thing. You don't want to live in regret. If there's something you want to get done in work, your relationships, school, whatever it is, do it.
Life is one big head game. And once you learn to play that game, it's no longer a game anymore at all. You can start living your life.
The harder you work, the harder it is to surrender. At the end of the day, the person that will surrender is the person that didn't work as hard as the other person. You got to work harder than the other person. So just when you felt like you did that last rep and your muscles are saying, I can't do no more reps, you saying, yeah, you got to do one more. Because right now, you might be doing 5 more. While you quitting and giving up, while you saying, all right, I did enough, it's time to rest, he might just be getting in his zone. In order for you to go from one level to the next level, in order for any woman to transition, for any man to transition, the thing that they want must be greater than the thing they currently have. Humans do not transition to another level when they're comfortable with the level that they're on. Because you're thinking right now, like, I want a better home, I want a better car, I want a better family. No, that's what you say with your mouth. That's what you say to make yourself feel good about yourself, because you don't get out of life what you want. You get out of life who you are.
Everybody likes the idea of success. Everybody wants to have millions of dollars in their bank account. But going out and doing those things, going out and building a plan backwards from that point that you want to be and going through the day-to-day actions of building that, you don't love that idea. You like the idea of success as long as it's easy, as long as it doesn't take dedication, as long as it doesn't take you having to do things that you don't feel like doing when you don't feel like doing them. You need to decide if you're in love with the idea of success or if you're in love with success.
You only transition from one level to the next when you're tired of the level you on.
You can stop at that level, or you can go, I want more levels. I want more levels.
When you start losing, it becomes a habit. That's what's dangerous. And it doesn't just affect you. Now your children and your children's children are going to be broke. Winners win and losers lose. And if you create a culture of losing, if you keep being a victim, if you keep letting people do you and treat you any kind of way, it's going to become a culture. Life happens to everybody, but winners approach it like victors and losers like victims. Winners win, not because their circumstances change, not because they win the lottery, not because they get this network. Winners win because they change their mentality from being a loser, a victim, to being a victor and saying, I have what it takes. I've got the right mindset. I'm alive. I can count on me. So if you're tired of losing and you're ready to win, you owe you to be a winner. If you're going to be the best, the cream of the crop, if you're going to be the apex, you got to be it, not talk about it. You gotta be it. It has to consume you. It has to take over you. You're putting in work, and just because you can't see the results, you want to quit or give up. I ain't never quit. I ain't never give up. I ain't never give in. I just kept grinding. You putting in the work, and the only reason you pissed, the only reason you quitting is not because you want to quit, because you keep looking up and you saying, we 3 in. Who cares what you are? If you keep going, you're gonna break through. The only people that don't break through are the people who scoreboard watching. You stopping working to look at yourself. You not grinding, you glaring. You should be grinding and you looking at the score. The score is what it is. The score ain't about to change because you looked at it. Keep playing the game. Keep grinding. Keep working. And that other stuff will take care of itself. And the process is not supposed to be comfortable. So if it hurts, if you feel like you're under heat, if you feel like you're being pressured, welcome to the big leagues.
You got to do a lot that nobody ever sees or thanks you for or rewards you for a long time. It's delayed gratification. If you do the work consistently, 1 + 1 is always going to equal 2. 2 + 2 is going to equal 4. And 10 years work is going to pay off.
The equation is always the same. Every single time, if you do it right, you're going to get the same answer. And most of y'all crying. I'm ready to quit because I put in some time. You might have put in some time, but you didn't put in the time. The time that's required to make your dream become a reality. You can't shortcut success. Ain't no days off. You think because you sick, you can quit. You think because you hurt and you in pain, you can just give up. You think just because you put in some time, that ain't the time. You put in the time coach told you to put in. You put in the time the teacher told you to put in. But you didn't put in the time that life told you to put in. You didn't put in the time that the grind told you to put in. So what? You've been working out for 6 months. So what? You just started studying. So what? You serious. You just got serious 6 months ago. So what? You can't cheat the grind. You either put in the time or you surrender. If it was easy, y'all, everybody would do it. But it ain't easy. But I know you have what it takes to make it happen.
The reason most people fail is because they give up what they want most for what they want now.
That thing that's holding you back, that thing that's dragging you down, that thing is you.
It's you. Nobody else. The only person that gets in your way is you.
You know, the war that you have to really fight is the war against yourself. It's not easy to look in the mirror and to change your own life. It's hard as hell. You have to take responsibility. You have to learn new things. You have to feel uncomfortable.
The thing I value more than anything is me being to look myself in the mirror and say, hey bro, you gave it everything you got today. I can live with that. But the thing that would be extremely difficult for me is for me to go out and compete and I know I didn't give everything I had. That's a problem for me.
And that's why so few people achieve great things, because they don't want to sacrifice, they don't want to discipline for some greater. So you see all these people that have great things in life that you look up to, it's because they were sacrificed and disciplined long before you ever knew them.
Hard work and making good choices will always position you in life to win. If you're cutting corners, if you're taking shortcuts, you're not robbing anybody else but you.
I can tell you it's hard to get off the couch and take that one step towards greatness. I can tell you how hard that is. I can also tell you how hard it is, 10 times harder, looking back on your life as time expires, knowing you could have been great when you didn't get off the couch because it seemed hard and now you can't do anything about it. I can tell you how the worst failure in life isn't the person that fell down, it's the person that never got up to try.
Hard work works, and you know what's great about our culture, y'all? The world's lazy. It's a good thing for you and me. Nobody wants to do it. Everybody will talk about it, everybody will post about it, but nobody wants to roll up their sleeves and just go get it.
Those long dog days, those hard practices, I'm exhausted, man. I'm tired, man. I'm dead, man. Yeah, that's process. And in process, what do we get? We learn who's committed. We learn this is what it takes to be a champion.
Some of you're gonna lose it all. You're gonna lose that house if you keep being average. You're gonna lose your family if you keep being average. You're gonna lose that job if you keep being average. You're going to lose it because nobody wants to be average. You will live in the reality that you build. You have to understand that every decision you make, you live with that decision. Every effort you put forth. If you put forth an average effort, you will live an average life. You will live in what you build. It's time to put your pieces together of your puzzle. I'll put mine together. I want to run my life because it's my life. I understood that the dream is real, but the lifestyle is real. You want the lifestyle, but you don't want to earn it. You gotta earn it. Some of what you want, some of what you trying to get ain't in the comfort zone. And so if what you want is not in the comfort zone, you got to come out of the comfort zone to get what you want. Why are you in school when you don't have to be in school? I want to live a phenomenal life. Why are you writing books when you don't have to write books? I want to live a phenomenal life. You're building it. Every decision you make, you're building it. Every shortcut you take, you are destroying it. Every corner you cut, you're tearing it down. It's your life. You're going to have to live in it. You are not a victim of your circumstances. You are a product of your effort. You are the sum total of the decision that you made and the effort that you put forth. So if you do not like what you see, if you do not like where you're going, do something about it. When it comes to our effort, the energy that we put forth, the way we go at the day, the way we handle the day, the time we wake up, the time we go to sleep, you are going to be intentional, you're going to be deliberate, you're going to be strategic. That means that there's not a day that's going to go by, there's not an hour that's going to go by, there's not a minute that's not going to go by that is not accounted for. Push through pain enough, and there's glory on the other side of it. But you gotta get through it. You need to work an hour longer. You need to run just a little faster. You need to put 5 more pounds on the rack. That's the effort you need to be great. That's the sacrifice that you have to put in order for you to get to the next level that you need to be at. And your grind has to match your dream. I need you to pick your grind up. There's nothing wrong with your dream. You have a great dream, but a little grind. There's nothing wrong with the opportunity. You're not giving 120. You're giving 70. You're giving 60. You're giving 50. And you want what these people who's giving sweat, who's giving blood, who's giving tears, you want what they paid for, and it ain't free.
These little tests, the little tiny details of life, makes that dream a possibility. You see what pushing through that is, facing it, meeting it head on, that fear, that pain, whatever else, how you can beat it back. You've done it here day in, day out, and you don't fall down. If you fall down, get back up, you keep getting back up.
That's what we do when we put forth 120. That other stuff, I don't know who that is, but that ain't us. This ain't for the weak and the uncommitted. Sometimes it's gonna hurt, sometimes it's gonna be painful, but if you want it, you gotta go get it. You gotta play hard for it. Yep, it's difficult. Why? Because the process is weeding out the weak.
You're the master of your life. You're not the servant anymore. You are running the day is not running you. That is freedom, guys.
I dare you to try it for 30 days. I dare you to go to school, sit up front, shut up, do your homework, do the test, and show them what you're really working with. And it's time for you to act like you got some sense and make it happen.
Every day when you get out of bed, life's standing right there to kick you in the face, man. Life is going to throw all kinds of crazy stuff at you. And you have to be ready for it, and you got to deal with it.
Are there going to be some moments when you want to give up? Yes. Will there be some moments when it's going to seem like it's impossible? The pain that you're experiencing, the disappointment that you're experiencing, that you're going to say, it's not worth it? Yes, that's going to be right there for you. It's going to be in your face, telling you to go back. You're going to start listening to the buts, and buts will have all kind of help and support from your family members and friends saying, I told you, fool! You're going under this positive faking stuff. Look at you now. Bet you wish you had that job now.
When you have a dream, that dream will always be tested. The pressure in your life right now has a purpose. It's not crushing you. It's pushing what's on the inside of you out. It shows you who you really are.
Don't never let anybody take your belief in yourself away from you because they hurting inside. Don't you never let nobody do that. Always believe in who you are in the darkest moments, man. In the darkest moments, when you at that pain, when you at the bottom, know that you're gonna get back up. But you gotta believe that you're gonna get back up.
I don't care how hard you fall on your back. Cause if you can fall on your back, you can look up. And if you can look up, you can get up. You can get through this. Cause you're bigger than this. And when you get to the other side, you're gonna be better. You're gonna be bigger. You're gonna be bolder. But we gotta get through this.
And I'm saying that the fact that you're still here, that you're still breathing, you've got some more work, and you owe it to yourself So when you get up in the morning, that you can look yourself in the face and say, hey, I'm living my life on my terms. That's important. Not to give up on your dream, not to give up on yourself.
Don't get it twisted. E.T. get tempted just like everybody else. But where I come from, everybody don't get this shot. I invested too much to quit. I made too many sacrifices to give up. Have you lost your mind? You know how hard I worked to get here? I put in too many hours. I sweat too much blood, too much tears. I worked hard to get here. Didn't nobody give me this. No, listen to me. That's why it's so easy for you to quit. Because you ain't paid nothing for it. I paid too much. I didn't grow up with wealth. Didn't nobody pay me. I worked for this. Sweat, blood, tears. I earn every dime I get. I work for this. And you think I'm about to get this up? You work for this. You put in time. This is not the time to lose your mind. This is the time to go all in. You want me to tell you it's okay to quit? You want me to tell you it's okay to surrender? They may not give it to you. Nobody might take you by the hand and take you there. But what I'm telling you is, I did it with my mind and my heart, and I envisioned it. I saw myself when I was still homeless, when I was still a high school dropout. I saw myself one day being where I am right now. I don't care where you are. Use what you got to get what you want. Use your mind. Use your vision. Use your dream. I dream my way out the hood. I dream my way out, and then I would get up every day and I would grind hard. So when life happens, I don't just sit there and cry. I buck back. The darkest hour is just before dawn, so you better not give up. You better not quit. You might be 3 inches from your goal. You might be 3 yards from your goal. You might be 30 yards from your goal. And if you quit now, you give up now, you may never reach your reality. You're not a victim. Stop talking about, I can't, I quit, I don't think I can make it happen, it's impossible. Stop talking like that. Stop cursing and start believing. Champions keep going when they don't have anything left in their tank, when they don't have no more, when it's over, when they're tired, when they're frustrated, when they're ready to give up, when they spent their last dime. It's when you have nothing left. It's when you depleted all your money, when all your energy gone, when you have nothing left. That's when it's showtime.
Things are gonna get harder and things are gonna get tougher. So what you've gotta do is you have to get harder and you have to get tougher. You become stronger than the things you're up against. That's how you win.
I wish I could tell you that if you just keep going, it's gonna get easier. I wish I could tell you that, but that's not the truth. The truth is, you gotta find something within. You gotta find something within, and that's gotta push you, and that's gotta elevate you, and that's gotta drive you. E.T., aren't you tired? Yes, but I can't quit. I can't stop. I can't get tired. I can't give up. I can't give in. My mama counting on me. My wife is counting on me. When you ain't got nothing left in your tank, you gotta think about the people in your life that you're doing this for. And then if you could think about them, you could go one more mile. You could go one more day at work.
You go after and you give it all you had. If you lose, at least you tried, man. I failed. It's 10 times more of a man than someone said, what if? Because what if never went to the arena.
The person who didn't try should feel rejected. The person that didn't try should feel defeated. I tried. I put my best foot forward. I don't feel bad. I gave it 120%. You can't never feel bad when you put forth 120%. You can't let the outcome make you feel whack. I'm not whack. I'm a warrior. I'm not whack. You know how much I went through to make that thing happen? You know how many obstacles I had to get through to make that work? I got through all of them. But I don't feel bad that it didn't work out. I'm a problem solver. I'm not soft. I'm not weak. I don't quit. I don't give up. I don't surrender. I don't always win, but I always try.
Many dreams die while suffering. I'm talking about emotionally, spiritually. It could be a relationship. When you're suffering, you give up on the very things that you wanted the most.
Life is going to beat you upside your head. Before you blow up, life will strip you to the core.
What makes you get up when you fall down? What makes your mentality change if there's a great situation or there's a bad situation? How do you dictate that based off the level of pain?
I need you to evaluate yourself and ask yourself the question, how are you wired? When you have a trial or a tribulation, how are you wired? Does it break you? Your problem is your pain has identified you. Your pain has destroyed you.
All of us will hit the wall. That wall shocked some people. That wall knocked the life out of some people.
It didn't work out for them. They hit the wall and they turned around. But there's some small number. They decide, wait a minute, I'm supposed to be over there. This kind of person refuses to be denied.
I'm wired differently. I get excited about no. I love no. I love it. It turns me on. No, Eric, I'll be back. I'll be stronger when I come back.
This person doesn't care about the pain because this person knows something. There's no gain without pain. So this person comes back anyhow, again and again. And if you keep on hitting that wall, here's what happens to you. You will have an incredible breakthrough. And it's as if the universe says, let's help him out. I admire that kind of tenacity. Let's give her a hand. Let's send her assistance, send her resources. It will come out of nowhere. As you're working times with tears falling down your face, and you'll look back on the times and you will cherish those times.
When your mind knows it's not going to quit, your body will adapt to whatever is in front of it.
What happens is you have all these voices that are telling you you're up and this is gonna be hard, but for some reason you put so much practice into you that you can ignore every one of them that are telling you you're not gonna make it and still be able to make it because you have put the practice in that you know this is the process. It's such a daunting task that all the voices are saying no. But you still have the conviction that I know I can do this.
When you get knocked down, and you're going to get knocked down, when you run into some roadblocks and you're going to run into them, you can always be able to bring yourself back in knowing if someone has done it, it's possible that I can do it.
Some of you have been knocked out by life, and you got up and saw the blood. He hit me. Sometimes in life, you have to hit back. You got knocked on the ground. You had absolutely nothing to do with that, and I'm not blaming you for that. But if I come back a week later, you still on the ground. If I come back a year later, you still on the ground, that's your fault. If you get knocked down, there's nothing you can do about it. But getting back up has every single thing to do with you. And you will promise me that from this day forward, you will not be defeated. I just love myself enough not to be trapped in the same doggone spot for the rest of my life. I love myself too much. So what makes E.T. different than everybody else? Every year I just kept going. I kept going and I kept going and I kept saying one day gonna be my day. But you know what I'm not gonna do? I'm not gonna quit in the process. I'm not gonna give up. I'm not gonna give in. And the problem with you, you've not recycled your pain. You're still living off talent. And I challenge you, average people live off talents. Phenomenal people live off efforts. Recycle your pain. Get something from it. You're already in pain. Use it. Do something with it. Allow it to take you to the next level. Allow your pain to push you to greatness.
Success isn't a straight line, it's a maze.
And when you think you figure that maze out, you hit a wall, and you gotta turn around and start again.
Everybody's got a plan so they can hit the bout. So when your plan fails, when you get knocked down the canvas, when everything falls apart in your life, and your plan is what you're gonna do is only one option: stay hard.
And I'm not here because I'm the best. I'm here because they tried to break me, and they couldn't. Oh, I'm wired differently. I didn't start crying. I didn't say, why me? I'm doing good to the world. I'm not hurting anybody. Why me? I'm wired differently. I can. I will. I must. We turn tragedy into triumph. That's what lions do. It does not make a difference what the circumstances is. Lions don't cry. Lions don't give up. Lions don't quit. Lions hunt. That's what we do for a living. So do me a favor. From this point forward, execution is worship. I don't make the big bucks because I talk. I make the big bucks because I execute.
Are you gonna say you wanna do something, do it for 2 weeks and then quit? Like you did last year, like you did the year before last? You say you wanna lose weight, get in shape, get your business off the ground, and then turn around and party, drink alcohol, eat like crap, and continue to live below who you were created to be. How long is it gonna take to make the decision, to make the shift, and show some courage? It is time to go from mediocre to meteoric. It is time to go from being counted out to being counted on.
I've never met anybody who became incredibly successful in any area of their life until they had suffered and sweated and sacrificed and kept their focus and fought through tears and trials and tests. And if you have a dream and you fully commit to it sooner or later, if you do not surrender, if you do not quit, it will happen.
When I wake up in the morning, I don't think, am I motivated to go do what I'm supposed to do? No, I don't think about it for 1 millisecond. When the alarm clock goes off, I have no thought about whether this is easy, whether this is hard, whether I want to do it, whether I don't want to do it. None of that matters. It's an emotionless, thoughtless discipline. When the alarm clock goes off, you get up, you get out of bed, and you go do what you're supposed to do. I don't care how it feels. I don't care if it's easy or hard. It doesn't even matter to me. It's just a reaction. It's a discipline, and it's life. And that's the way I choose to live my life.
Too tired, too hungry, too sore, too hot, too cold, too whatever. People ask me what I do when I get those little feelings running around. Well, let me tell you what I don't do. I don't tell everybody. As a matter of fact, I don't even let those words run around inside my own brain housing group. I keep it secure, lock it down.
To me, this is an everyday gig. Every day is a Monday, an opportunity to come out of the gate like a man possessed and attack the day without mercy. Today, I'm taking scalps. I'm putting the pressure on. I'm the aggressor. I'm on the attack.
It's a lifestyle. Instead of hitting that snooze button in the morning and not making your bed, you don't hit the snooze button. You get up. You don't want to go run? You go run. You don't want to go swim? You go swim. You don't want to make your bed? You make your bed. You don't want to clean your house? You clean your house. You don't want to study? You go and study. It's going to suck. It's not going to be fun. Do something that sucks every single day of your life. That's how you grow.
The only thing you do for success is sweat, it's blood, it's tears. You think you're gonna get 50%? You think you're gonna get 70%? You think you're gonna get 80? There is no discount. You can't get 50% off. There are no shortcuts to success. Stop thinking they are. And stop wanting people to put you somewhere that you didn't earn. The real beast is when their legs give out. The real beast when they tired. The real beast find a way to pull something out when nobody else ain't got nothing. When you really want it, you no longer hit the snooze button. You no longer lose focus when you're studying. You no longer take shortcuts. You are willing to do whatever it takes. And that means getting up early, going to bed late. That means you don't go to sleep when you're tired. You go when you're done. You might have put in some time, but you didn't put in the time. Yep, you did some workout. Yep, you studied a little bit. Yeah, you put in some time, but you ain't put in the time. The time that's required to make your dream become a reality. You can't shortcut success. You gotta grind, and you gotta put in the time.
If you had the qualities of fortitude, grit, discipline, mental toughness, you wouldn't need a program for your finances. You wouldn't need another fitness program. You would understand how to execute. The missing link is and always has been you.
In order to be the best, in order to get to the next level, you gotta sacrifice. You gotta be willing to do whatever you're asked to do. There are no shortcuts to success. There are no discounts to success. It's always sweat. It's always blood. It's always tears. You always have to give all to be the best.
I'm not gonna sit around and wait for good things to happen to me. I'm gonna grind. I'm gonna fight. I'm gonna do everything in my power to become the very best version of me.
When you do the things most people aren't willing to do, you will live the life most people never will.
If you're willing to take the harder way, the more complicated one, the one with more failures at first than successes, the one that has ultimately proven to have more meaning, more victory, more glory, then you will not regret it.
If you stay in bed, if you stay on the couch, if you stay in your comfort zone, if you only do what is easy, your life will be hard. But if you do what is hard, if you get up, if you grind, if you are relentless, if you work as hard as possible, when other people are slacking off, your life will be easy.
1 plus 1 is always going to equal 2. 2 plus 2 is going to equal 4. And 10 years of work when everybody else is partying, making excuses, doing the cool thing on the weekend is going to pay off.
What do you do when your battle chooses you? What do you do when something shows up on your doorstep that you did not directly cause, choose, or definitely anticipate?
There's problems that we go through that cause stress, worry, anxiety, and fear, but you might be in the battle of your life. I want to encourage you. It's not about what's happening around you. It's always about what's happening inside of you.
Life is hard sometimes. Easy, it's not an option. It's hard. Keeping your spirits up, getting up every day knowing and feeling that death is watching over you and say, you better sleep with one eye open because I'm waiting on you. It's hard when you're hurting. It's hard. You got bills, you got responsibilities. It's hard. But it's worth fighting. It's worth believing. It's worth giving yourself a chance. It's worth mustering yourself up, standing up inside yourself. It's worth fighting relentlessly, never giving up. You can do it. You can do it.
Just because you feel afraid doesn't mean you have to be afraid. Just because you feel discouraged doesn't mean you have to be discouraged. Just because you have fear doesn't mean fear has to have you.
When you have fear, fear makes you speak in a certain way. When you have fear, but when you have faith, you don't need to count. When you have faith, you don't need to go outside. When you have faith, you don't need to see how many horses. When you have faith, you don't need to see how many armies. When you have faith, you don't need to see how many swords. When you have faith, you don't need to count no shields. When you have faith, you don't need to look at the parameter and see how many against. When you have faith, you just believe and it'll happen.
You got to get to the point where you don't need a car anymore. You don't need a house anymore. You don't need to be pushed by anybody anymore. Your dreams, your why is going to push you. Your spouse is going to push you. Your child is going to push you. The need to get better is going to push you. Because you're closer than you're ever going to be, it's going to push you. You don't need anything to push you. Your goals are going to push you. Your dreams are going to push you. The opportunity of a lifetime that happens in this particular time frame is going to push you. It's going to drive you. It's going to make you better.
You gotta tell life, I don't know who you've been dealing with, but you ain't dealt with me. You gotta tell bankruptcy. You gotta tell divorce. You gotta tell sickness. I don't know who you've been dealing with, but you come up against the wrong one this time.
If you are willing to grind, you can start from nothing. When I talk about beast mode now, I'm talking about the ant that's very small, but that can probably live 100 times his weight. I'm saying that some of you in this room, you might not be a lion yet. Some of you in this room, you might be an ant. You might have small beginnings. You might not have a lot of money. You might not have a lot of resources. You might be the ant, and the ant has very little, but he's determined. He's strong. He has a dream and a goal, and he'll do whatever it takes.
Many of you right now, life's got you up against the rope, and you gotta do me a favor. Like, you can't give up. You can't give in. Listen to me, if it was easy, everybody would do it. And if life's got you backed up, I need you to start fighting back. When the going get tough, the tough get going. When you go through the valley, when you have been knocked down, when you know what it is to be destroyed, when you know what it is to be wiped out by life, no one can take that from you. If you come from a family right now that's broke, use that to your advantage. I use that to my advantage that I was a high school dropout, that I was homeless, that I ate out of trash can. I love dealing with a dude who think because he come from money, he better than me. Let's go. You got money, but do you got that dog? Yeah, you got money, you got privilege, but do you got that dog?
There's certain things when you privilege that mama can buy you, but you can't buy grit, and you can't buy grind, and you can't buy resilience, and you can't buy heart, and you can't buy that dog. I got this dog for being homeless. I'm getting paid now because the homelessness didn't break me.
Come on, you need to remember, this is not the first time you cried. This is not the first time you were short of breath. This is not the first time you didn't see a way clear. This is not the first time you were hurt. This is not the first time your heart was broken. This is not the first time you didn't have enough money. This is not the first diagnosis that came up from behind.
Say, I'm gonna live to tell the story. This too shall pass. I will remain. I'm not gonna quit. Every one of my burdens, there's a blessing on the inside of it. If you don't quit, you will win, baby. Just keep coming back.
If you got nothing left to give, just show back up. Half of life, man, is just showing up.
I couldn't give up. Homeless, I still couldn't give up. I'm one class shy, the PhD. I can't give up. Why? Because the value, what it's worth, what I put in too much. I've given too much. I sweat too much. I've given up sleep. I've given up friendship. I've given up so much stuff that I had to get back later. Why? Because the value, I put too much in it. What's it worth to you? What does it cost? What price have you paid for it? What has it cost you? And if it costs you something, then you better not quit until you get a harvest. You better not quit till it's fully developed. You better not quit in the midst of the process. I need you to speak victory. I don't care what's going on around you. I need you to speak victory. I need you to talk victory. I don't care what your circumstances are. I don't need you to speak your reality. If you broke, you ain't got to tell the whole world you broke. I need you to speak victory. I need you to say I'm going to graduate when you can't even see it. I need you to say my book will be finished. I'm an author long before it's finished. You have to believe it when you cannot see it. You have to speak it and say it's so that can become a reality. Because if you can speak it, if you can say it, you're going to eventually get to it. You can write everything down if you want to. Be brave enough to write every one of your goals down. But I'm going to tell you something. Life's going to hit you in your mouth, and you got to do me a huge favor. Your why has to be greater than that knockdown.
Are you willing to get your teeth kicked out for your dream? That's why many are called, but few are chosen. Because everybody won't get the beat down. Everybody's not willing to face rejection. Everybody will not talk to 4 people and visualize 5,000. Everybody won't take the controversy. Everybody won't take the heat. Everybody won't hold themselves to a higher standard.
As soon as you write your dream down, somebody about to bust you in your mouth. Whatever it is that thing you say you want to do, they coming at you. The reason why you do what you do is more critical than what you do. Because if your reasoning is weak, you're not going to get it done. Why? Because life is going to beat you upside your head. Life will strip you to the core. Once your ball start tripping, you about to start crying. Once life hits you with a punch or two, you ready to quit. Phenomenally skilled is cute, but it is a phenomenal will that says every time I get knocked down, I will get back up and I will succeed. I will not surrender. But if you're weak, you will be broke. And I'm not here because I'm the best. I'm here because they tried to break me and they couldn't.
Think about your community. Think about your kids. Think about the obstacles and the problems, the so-called problems in your community. Think about them. Osborne said, in life, you will always be faced with a series of God-ordained opportunities brilliantly disguised as problems and challenges. We can't judge according to appearances. We must look at the poverty and the despair and the pain and the stress, and in the midst of that, we see prosperity. We see peace. We see possibility.
I'm telling you to dream your dream because I want you to feel it. I want you to taste it. I want you, just like when the weather is changing, you can feel it. I want you to be able to feel when you're getting closer to it and closer to it. If you are still alive, there's still room for growth. There's still room for improvement. You can still get bigger. You can still get better. You can still be bolder. There's still room to grow and be better.
Get out of your head and into your greatness. You can't stroll to your goals. You keep being casual, you will end up a casualty. Death is not the greatest tragedy of our time. The greatest tragedy is what dies inside of us while we're still alive. Not trusting your gift is sinful because by God it was put in you. I don't know what you've been through, but trust your heart, it will defend you.
You need to use your tongue to validate your gift and look yourself in the mirror and encourage yourself and say, I'm still gifted. I've been through some pain, but I'm still gifted. I've buried some loved ones, but I'm still gifted. I've had some setbacks, but I'm still gifted.
Despite the circumstance, you can win. Despite the giants, you can win. Despite the adversity, you can win. Despite the obstacles, you can win. Despite the situation, you can win. Despite how much money you got in your bank, you can win. You can pull it off.
Why do you do what you do? Why is that important, Les? Because when the storms of life come, and they're going to come, When life pounces on you, and that's going to happen. When it catches you on the blind side and drop you to your knees, and that's going to happen. When people don't come through for you and don't keep their words and don't support you or actively work against you, and that's going to happen. When you want to give up, and that's going to happen, your reasons will be your bridge over troubled waters. You got to know why you're out here, because you're going to get your butt kicked. But you gotta know why you're there, because your reasons, when life drops you to your knees, your reasons will help you get back up. What are the reasons? Write down why you're here. Write down 5 compelling reasons of why you're gonna keep your commitment to change your life. Keep your commitment never to go back to the life that you once lived. Keep your commitment to creating wealth for yourself, to taking care of your children, to be more responsible. Keep your commitment to live a life of contribution, to keep your commitment to be a conqueror, and to act like it, and to have authority and dominion of everything in your life. What are those reasons if life knocked you down, try and land on your back? Because if you can look up, you can get up. Your reasons will help you to get back up again.
What's that thing that's gonna pump you up and get you over that hill? What's gonna pump you up and get you over that mountain? What's gonna pump you up and get you past that disease? What's gonna pump you up and get you past bankruptcy? What's gonna pump you up and get you past that crazy credit score you got? What's gonna pump you up and get you to the other doggone side?
I'm talking about hope. You gotta be able to see it when it cannot be seen. You gotta see it in your mind's eye. You have to see it happening. You have to see yourself writing the book before the book is finished. You gotta see it. You have to see yourself graduating even though the teachers are telling you that it's not going to happen. Even though you got the letter saying you're getting kicked out of school, that you're on academic probation, that you're dismissed. Hope, you have to believe in the unseen. Because if you can't believe in it, you will never manifest it. But when you believe in it, you demand the universe to assist you in what you're doing. And if you can see it before everybody else can see it, then it's going to eventually come to you.